Asahi, the main character of the manga, walks back to his house and finds that the door is open. This is usually where you call 911, but our boy is going to call a condom company to get some extra boxes, because inside is the hot friend of his bigger sister. While telling her he bought ice cream, he sees that she has tools that can break skulls out in the open. He then asks her if she shouldn't cover up a bit more. She doesn't understand because this is how she always dresses. All of a sudden, she pulls him close and asks if she's bricked him. When our boy is found with his pants down, he tells us that his sister is 3 years older than him. If this girl were a computer game, she'd get an E for erection because every time she shows up on my screen, I get an erection too. Asahi's sister has high standards for looks, and she put him in touch with her friend Hanako when she started middle school. When our boy saw her for the first time, he learned what a man is really like. It's impossible to believe how beautiful and hot Hanako is. She's perfect in every way, right down to the tiniest hair. To help him study for his test, Hanako asks him to play Mario Kart for 2 hours. It's already late when our boy wipes off his gamer sweats after 2 hard, intense hours of gaming like a crazy person. He then says he'll make something, which gets Hanako excited because she's really hungry. He tells her that he'll make some noodles. Asahi put on his chef hat and got to work. Then Hanako gets a text message from his sister Tsuko telling him that she's going to eat out tonight. They are ready to eat now that the food is ready. Now Asahi knows that his sister looks like she's drowning in work, like she's caught in an avalanche of college papers instead of snow. So, he doesn't understand how Hanako can still chill out and lie down. They're not the same major, she says, and his sister will have to do a lot more work because she's in science. Asahi tells them that his sister brought him with her to college 2 years ago as a cleaning robot. But after that, Hanako, who went to the same college, would always stop by because it was close to campus and felt like her place. Because of that, he has been trying very hard not to let his little friend firm in front of her while she eats. He sees that her side view is also perfect, especially that sharp jawline that sticks out like poop spots and the white underwear that can be seen through. Our boy had to tell her not to pull her hair out like a vacuum while she ate, though, because she is careless. He agrees to tie her hair back. Asahi sat down behind her and got a great view of her honkers. If he had looked a little more closely, he might have seen the mountain's peak. But our boy turns away and finishes tying her hair back. She tells him she thinks he'd be a great husband and thanks him. That makes Asahi wonder what kind of penis-wielding being wouldn't be crazy about Hanako, especially since she walks up to you with a cute smile and doesn't yell, "Get away from me, you filthy smegma-covered being," or run away from you like her nickname is Usain Bolt. When Hanako tells him she's going to take a shower, she suddenly gets it. She moves closer to him and tells him not to look at her. It's clear that Asahi won't be looking, and as soon as she walks into the bathroom, our boy almost passed out from how excited her words made him. He needs to take a deep breath and become a monk. Asahi thinks back to when he was younger and how he interacted with Hanako. She treats him like a little brother all the time and even lets him wash her Victoria's Secret. He doesn't think Hanako likes him romantically. Our boy runs into Hanako on his way home from school the next day after doing great on his test. When she saw him, her eyes lit up, and Asahi said something about her outdoor clothes. When he asks if she looks cute in them, our boy tells her it's great. When Hanako asks him how he did on the test, Asahi tells her it was fine. She tells him how proud she is of him and asks if he could ever help her with her schoolwork. She tells him that she was only doing well before because his sister Tsuko turned into the dark night and made her study 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, like it was a medieval torture device to make sure she could get into the same college as her. This makes Asahi confused. At his house, Hanako starts to watch TV. Asahi tells her that if she doesn't give him a little more room, his rocket will launch at 12 Ozo and his nipples will get hard. Asahi doesn't understand this after hearing it. Just as our boy is about to leave, she pulls his shirt off and says, "Nah, sit back down." Asahi tries not to get the wrong idea, and his sister texts him to say she's going out to eat again. He tells her that he'll get up and make something. His winning skills as a master chef help him make Hinako a nice meal for dinner since she seems a little down today. Oh, Hinako is so excited to try our boy's meat, which means the hamburger steak. She digs in and is blown away by how good his juicy meat tastes. It's also full of her favorite things. The boy then asks her out of the blue if she had a bad day. Hinako is shocked because she thinks he saw it in her face. Our boy tells her it's not that, though. Thus, she tells him that she is now completely okay because our boy has talked to more women than I have seen. His knowledge tells him that when a girl says, "I'm fine," their house is on fire and they're about to go into their depressed phase. He surprises Hinako by telling her that she likes herself. She then asks herself if she would still say that if she didn't look so good, or if her fun bags weren't so big that people often thought they were whiteboards. She then says that maybe then people would understand her better and she'd be able to get along better with other girls. She says that she's partly to blame because she talks too much. But our boy gets close to her and tells her, "Beauty is ultimate justice." Hinako is confused, so our boy starts to explain that she is perfect in every way, and that people who look down on her are stupid. He tells her to be mad at them, but Hinako never gets mad at anything. Asahi tells her that he will be mad at her then. She went to cram school and was accused of sleeping with someone else's boyfriend. Asahi told her that he went to a shrine and prayed for her to fail her test. He also hoped that the guy who was mad that she turned him down would cut his pinky toe. But he doesn't know if it made a difference. Asahi hears all of this and Hinako jumps on top of him, giving him a quick kiss on the face. As soon as the romantic music starts, our boy starts to see fairies and rainbows. He quickly snaps out of it, though, and tells her that was a far cry for just some praise. But when he looks at Hinako, she's bright red and looks like she's about to go off like a bomb. She tells him she was just too happy and tells him to forget about it. That's what our boy did. But Asahi got up and started acting like Gordon Ramsay again, while Hinako is still red in the face. Then hot mommy Tsuko walks into the house and hears Hinako yelling at Asahi for not being embarrassed by her earlier actions. Tsuko is there for her when she needs help. It's the next day, and Asahi comes home and gets scared by Hinako, who then attacks him in the nuts. He's fine with this scare, though. She's excited to surprise him, and our boy knows she's going to go out raw with her bare bakery in public, scaring everyone in his apartment with her anus. She then looks him in the eye and asks, "Do you want to see what's underneath?" She flips her hoodie over and says, "Fuck your answer. It's a rhetorical question." We couldn't see what color her Calvin Kleins were because she was wearing shorts. She went back to what she was doing, and Asahi is falling more in love with her and thinks it's a one-sided love. Asahi sees that she's studying and tells him to move her stuff if he wants to watch TV. But Asahi says, nah, he's about to make his greatest academic comeback of all time, and he's in his transformation phase in becoming an academic weapon. When she hears this, she invites him to study with her because she'll just read some books and not bother him with her jiggly milk sacks. Asahi starts his training arc and notices Hinako reading quietly. She looks over and asks what he's looking at. Asahi is shocked and says that she seems to enjoy reading so much. Hinako tells him that when she's at home, she can focus on reading because it's not like her to read on campus, where her classmates would make fun of her. Plus, she says, books might not be for her. When he hears this, our boy quickly slips into his shining white armor like he's entering a lubed-up anus. Word choice can be softened, and tells her that he thought she was beautiful the first time he saw her reading in a public library. The first time he fell in love with her, he almost golden showered himself, but instead of pee, it came out as a pearly shower. Hinako doesn't believe him, so he stops himself and tells her that he thinks she's really admirable. She tells him that it's not that deep, and that he doesn't have to figure out her actions like they're a Shakespearean sonnet. She just wanted them to stop talking about it. Asahi then tells her that he really likes the part of her that she enjoys reading. When she hears this, she freezes up and starts blushing, and her heart feels like it's about to pop out of her chest. She reminds herself that Asahi didn't mean it romantically. She tells him to study again, and they finish studying and bring over some snacks. Hanako talks about how Tsuko told her that she seems to enjoy reading when she was in school and sitting alone in class. Tsuko walked into the room with such an aura that it was like Jesus Christ had come back to life. She sat right in front of her, Hanako continues. And oh my good God, the things I would do for Tsuko. I really want this book to become a love story for girls and have the two of them kiss. The present Tsuko then walks up behind them and asks what they're talking about. Asahi is almost ready to rip off his pants and run away with only one hand. It turns out that Hanako was just joking about how cool Tsuko is. It's unclear to Tsuko why our boy is being moody. While Asahi is at school, his friend comes in to get his notes back. He wants to, but he can't because our boy is a pussy magnet and girls are all over his table. She told his friend, "Nah, buddy, go back to unleashing your loads under your desk." Besides, Asahi is like a girl anyway, as he quickly came in to try the cakes. Then some more girls call him, and the guys are confused about how Asahi knows so much about things that girls like to talk about. Because of this, she tells him the girls won't talk to him. He thinks that if he could learn half as much as Asahi, he would also be drowning in soaked pants. Since Asahi doesn't want to slide into their pants like a parasite, they talk to him. When they hear this, they are shocked. The girl tells them both about Asahi, the famous cartoon lead. In the first year of Asahi, there was a gathering for different cultures. Two tall, hot girls walk down the hall while he serves the students their food and drinks. Every guy in the class salutes with their PPS. They're here to meet Asahi. After that, he became famous as the man with titties in each hand. But this has nothing to do with what they were talking about before. The girl then says that they are Asahi's sister and his sister's friend, and that Asahi likes his sister's friend. Asahi shows up just in time and is shocked when he hears this. As his friend asks him what he likes most about her, our boy starts to list all the little things he likes about her like it's an iceberg YouTube video. His friend starts making fun of him for all of this. The girl figures out that something is going on outside. Asahi is shocked and leaves the room right away after looking out the window. Hanako and her friend are getting ready to go to his school. Then she tells them to leave quickly, but her friend tells her that she was the one who wanted to come here. A friend of Hanako's told her that her sister liked someone but didn't want to go out with them. People say, she just doesn't get high schoolers these days, but Hanako said, she's just like me for real. Then she starts to tell her friend about her relationship with Asahi, who is shocked. She tells Asahi that she doesn't think of him romantically because he doesn't even blush when he washes her Calvin Kleins. She wonders if the fact that Asahi is always around girls is why she doesn't bother him. Even though her friend doesn't believe her, she knows that Tsuko is also attracted to pussies, so she thinks that the genes could be passed on to Asahi. She runs to Asahi's school right away to fully understand what's going on with him. Now we're in the present, and Hanako is mad at her for this. Asahi then shows up, and Hanako quickly tells him that her friend only wanted to know what Tsuko's brother looks like. The girls suddenly barged in and grabbed Asahi. They wanted to know more about Hanako and take a picture with her. A friend of Hanako says that Asahi is pretty well known, but when she sees how Hanako is feeling, her face falls. With a threatening look on her face, Hanako walks up to Asahi and says, "They're going home." Her friend tries hard not to laugh, and both Asahi and Hanako start to blush after what she did. Hanako immediately feels bad about what she did, and our boy wonders if she was jealous. Hanako is at his place again. She wants to go to the aquarium to feed some dolphins and other cool stuff. Asahi tells her to go for it, but she looks at him and lets him know he's coming along. Asahi's brain short-circuited and had a factory reset. She's basically asking him out on a date. However, he thinks she doesn't mean it in that way and agrees to join her. Then, he realizes he doesn't have any clothes. He quickly runs into his room, and Hinako realizes that he only wears his school uniform and clothes at home. So, she busts down his door to rate his drip. She looks at him and thinks it's straight up diabolical, as if a pile of dog shit and human shit were to have a baby. However, she gives him a pass. She asks him when he bought this, and Asahi explains that his sister bought it for him last year. Hinako tells him that he's grown so the shirt is a tight fit, and she whips out her measuring tape to get his size so they can shop for some clothes. Asahi begins to sweat since from this angle, he's able to see some milkers, so he lets her know he'll just do it himself, but she insists. Asahi gets a nice feel of those warm pillows, but Hinako is so focused on measuring him that she didn't even notice. He starts to sweat, and his blood pressure starts to rise. But his wiener was already there and rising even faster. He has to close his eyes before his sniper comes out of his manhood and splatters all over his pants. Hinako finishes measuring him, and our boy literally survived the hardest battle of his life. Then Hinako starts to blush because our boy is low-key packing and actually has a sleeper build. Who knows, he could rip off his shirt and look like Superman on steroids. Asahi got up and asked her to choose his clothes because he knows more about aliens than fashion. Hinako's eyes lit up, throbbing in excitement to pick his clothes. She hops on her phone and goes through a plethora of clothes, wondering if she should get them matching clothes. Hinako begins to get sidetracked and thinks that maybe she should get some new lingerie as well in case she gets in a situation to show them off. Then, Tsuko jump scares her and lets her know those are definitely not her size. Now, unfortunately, I'm no bra connoisseur, so I have no idea if this is considered big or small. Hinako's body screenshotted and went into a state of paralysis. Our boy is shocked to find out that his sister is already home. Then, she begins to measure Hinako's milk jugs with her bare hands and realizes these things have really snowballed throughout the years. She continues to grab a measuring tape for it, and our boy is being blessed with some insider information. Tsuko notices him staring and tells him to look the other way. A few days have passed, and our boy is ready to step outside. He put on his contacts and starts to sneak out of the house while mommy Tsuko is asleep. But Tsuko appears behind him and asks where he's going. Our boy starts to sweat and says he's just going out, but Tsuko is really digging into his business and wouldn't let go so easily, asking more questions like a mother. She looks like she's really a mother. Asahi says he's just going out with a friend. When she hears this, she smiles and doesn't say anything because she already caught him and knows that her friend and her little brother have something for each other. Okay, the girl is cute, but the sister is the real goat. Please let me know of any comics where the girl looks like this. I really need her.